So in a just, people do not understand what has happened here. But what you do need to take from it is, for one, you're not supposed to hear it. Okay? It's something supposed to be private in my home. Can you imagine how public I am now? Or how many people know me and how many places? Would you like to be me? Or just scratch that. Would you like to lose your home, your car, your clothes, your career, and everything behind a noise coming from your own property that the state used? So mine is one of the biggest ones ever used in this state, and I can say that is factual, and that several different counties and different people have used it, learned about it, or had an issue with it or whatnot. You say, well, that's wrong, they're in your car, blah, blah, blah. That is the least of your concerns. They don't get in these things and sit right on top of your house and watch you because you're the owner all the time. The people that are assigned to come up with these taunt things, they're not supposed to do that either. What has happened here is a group of people who have abused the access of what they were granted to. He's not supposed to do other things with it. They do other things with it, or whatever they want to. If they want to, that don't mean they do anything with it at all sometimes. You understand? These things will be used on different levels of the government, all kinds of levels. It can be used for all kinds of things. I've lost everything I own because I depleted all my funds trying to live off of it and make it while he taunted and harassed people. He started doing ugly things in public besides just making a noise. People don't want me in there. People don't want me in their place of business or their place of work or whatnot, because they're starting to say things like at River Trace in Washington, North Carolina. They were taunting so loud, making a noise. If anyone's ever heard it before, sounds like an intercom over Walmart, except for it's 10 times bigger, okay? And their phrase was, "Let's fuck to it." Well, I'm there working, and you know the management staff or whatnot, they didn't hold the car against me. They knew I hadn't done anything wrong or nothing. But once we start crossing those ethical barriers, and you know, then they start harassing and picking at the elderly patients that were in there, and they're already in there sad because you know they worked their whole life, and then they end up being in the nursing home instead of being able to retire in their old little brick house and enjoy their family as much. So when you pick at someone that's already in that state of mind, they, you know, they're crying and stuff like that. All of that's out of hand, okay? These officers do not like these things because they have recorded them. The one that's still making noise right now is not working for the state at the moment. I used to work with them. And yes, mine's been used probably more than any other one that they've had in the state. It is the biggest one they've ever had in the state. It doesn't matter if you have a lawyer or you're rich or you're poor or whatever. If you do what he is doing, it does not matter. Now, if you're rich, you can live off the funds that you have. You understand that you need to be rich as far as, do you have enough funds to live off of for 3 or 4 years and waste? Because a taunt does not last 2 or 3 years, so you're still hearing these noises. If I come out, you're going to still hear them. What happened is I retreated to my yard because he started to commit crimes and do horrendous things or whatever. And it's not my fault, but when I would go into public, into Walmart or in somewhere or whatever, like a library in Williamson, and he will start these vicious taunting, saying these nasty, inappropriate things to people, picking on people. Like I said one more time again, this thing can physically hurt you, and he's done that little tiny things and shown people that it can physically hurt you, and that's his excuse. I wanted to show him what it could do. He's not supposed to do any of those things. Yes, these things can be rewards, they can be used in space, they can be used at any level of government, once again, whatever they want to do with them. No lawyer can stop this, okay? Well, she's poor, she couldn't get a lawyer, that's why she's like, nope, that ain't what it is. No lawyer can stop this, you understand me? Your child, I don't care if you're a millionaire, I don't care who you are. Nobody can stop this, except for the people who have been granted access. Of course, there's a whole bunch of people who have access. Well, why don't they do anything about it? Because they cannot sit in here with him every day and tell him to stop, 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 stop. They can't make him log out. It's not against the law. So they can't go to his house and put handcuffs on him. So mind you, with that being said, he's just supposed to taunt me, you understand, and make me wonder where the noise is coming from, and me figure out it was my car or whatnot. They don't have to do these. I used to work for the state, and I used to work for the law, and there's a lot of other things that surround me, which probably made them maybe do it. I don't know. This is the biggest one the state's ever had. This has never happened in the United States, do you understand? And it's happening right here in Eastern North Carolina, and nobody understands it, so I'm pretty sure of that. It's wrong that they have these, and I agree with the officers talking, but besides that, they done things that, they'll taunt my job so I'll get fired, so I won't be able to provide shelter, food, or clothes for myself. That's how I lost everything I own, because they wouldn't shut up. That makes me a victim of something, just like that makes me just like, Miss Claire next door, for example, is a victim of a natural disaster if a tornado come through her house and took everything. You understand? It's the same concept, but people do not look at me that way. But on top of that, since a tornado come through my house, I've also been mentally and physically abused by it, okay? It does. They can use it to alter their, I'm trying to give you an example. Like, their soldiers and stuff like that. They can do all kinds of stuff with this thing that... And there's lots of people out here that believe in, like, conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff, and I'm one of those kind of people. I actually am not. But if you know what kind of people I'm talking about, they're right, okay? And so this thing can do things that you would never believe. And if it's done, and then you go down there and tell the law that you saw that being done, or you know what it is, they're going to call you crazy, okay? And that's how, they cover these things or whatnot. What you don't understand is, there's not a law enforcement out here that wants him to make that noise. There's not a law enforcement out here that does not want me to go on with my life and work. There's not a law enforcement that wanted me to lose everything I own. He is calling my doctors, threatening my doctors in my health care. And my doctors will listen to what this man says that they've never met before through the voices or the tone or whatever. And a lot of people do. And then when I go in there, they do something wrong to me. Can you imagine going into a hospital and he's taunting the doctor and telling the doctor what to do, and then the doctor comes in there and attacks you? Because for some reason, people think that when they hear this sound, that they're supposed to do what it says. You are not. You're not ever even supposed to hear it. Now, if you're covering or doing little things like that right now, I wouldn't even worry about it. But he has threatened people, committed crimes, and done a lot of things to a lot of people spread throughout, and hurt a lot of people, scared a lot of people, intimidated a lot of people. And that's what you call an act of terrorism on a low scale. I retreated to the backyard because he was doing it, because hell, what's the point of me coming out? Because when I come out, everybody is getting ready to get to be verbally assaulted, physically assaulted, threatened. There's people have been threatened, if you don't do this, I'm going to, physically attack you. And what he does is he physically attacks them, which it can, okay? And then so they'll do what he says so they can get away from him. Do you understand? This man flies around, looks at everybody's accounts, everybody's house and everything. Why don't they stop them? They can never. It doesn't matter if they come take the car. They can't never put handcuffs on him. Do you understand? So, the thing about it is that due to him, I've lost my home, my clothes, food, shelter. I barely have shelter. I live in the backyard. I retreat to the backyard so this stuff wouldn't keep going on in public, because it was getting rougher and rougher and rougher. And plus, I can't work with somebody who's doing that. Well, he's been told not to do that in public no more, okay? So, the mental and physical abuse that are in these without having someone being extraordinary is beyond belief. What they do to these people is sorry as hell. What he's done to me, sorry as hell does not explain it. So, and meanwhile, while it goes on, they have still used my car to do operations and things. And you say, well, that's just sorry. And it is. But what you don't understand, there's not a law book that says, let's go arrest this person or stop this person from taunting. So, that's the excuse, huh? It's not an excuse, it's facts. But what you don't understand is people do not understand that he has destroyed my whole entire motherfucking life, excuse my French, while my car has been used to keep people safe and help people and do things for them or whatnot throughout this whole state. And for it, I get to lose my, physically and mentally attacked and lose everything in my life I've ever worked for at the age of 40. The abuse that I went through is so horrific that if you think surviving a house fire is going to traumatize you or something like that, it is not. This is worse. And that's what people do not understand. So I try to get the message out. So, it's like being in a room and just constantly being tortured all day. So, sometimes it's like soft, sometimes don't. When you go in public, it don't seem as bad. But these things in private are vicious, and they're vicious for one reason. It's to upset you, and I reckon they make you go to the law, but they don't have to be this vicious. These folks they've had problems with them before in these, but it was short-lived. So, finally, it's not supposed to last but maybe a couple of months or something like that. You understand? This is a personal agenda. These people didn't like me when I used to work for them. Actually, one of them, Mr. Carl Williams Jr., used to like me. We had some kind of impersonal relationship and issue going on with us. But what you don't understand is that they've used it to attack me as a person instead of just to prepare a taunt, which taunts are wrong anyway. It's because they've done stuff to me that I could sue them for. So we just like, to make sure, that they encouraged me to kill myself several times. And, I did not, of course, but, you understand, with the noise and the situation, oh my God, the car, the publicity, losing your home, your house, this, that, being physically and mentally attacked, and then someone saying, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself. Do you understand that that is an actual motive for they want you to die? You understand that they're combining all the variables, you understand, and they're trying to get you to kill yourself. That's exactly what law enforcement wants. They do not. If you're listening to them, if you are assisting them, you're completely wrong. And it's up to me to get rid of it. The only way I can get rid of it is to get up on my feet again. Until then, this person and this other person are doing things throughout Eastern North Carolina to people's accounts, to people, to whatever, here and there, little small things that, like I'm going to give you one more instant, play close attention to your accounts. They can change the numbers in your account. You won't see a withdrawal. You'll just see a change of number. I thought it said, for instance, 353 yesterday when I went to sleep. And you wake up this morning and it says 323. And it's like a number discrepancy. And you're like, do you remember it right? Stuff like that. And, you don't have no privacy or whatnot. You do have privacy with these. You understand? The law gets in it and they do what they want to do, and they are violating their rights by doing that. They're definitely violating mine because it's mine. But just remember that they don't singly point you out and just sit over top of your house and watch you. These things are not like a satellite view or whatnot. It's more like a video game. You can position yourself on the ground, or they can position themselves beside me like they're sitting on the couch. Go through a window, they can see through buildings. But what do you mean, like X-ray, hot, cold, whatever? No. What I mean is like log in and maneuver themselves like a player would, like they were on a video game, and walk right into your house and just be in there. So people don't understand what's happening here, but this was mental and physical torture, and it's worse than a tornado tearing up any house any day. Because what you don't understand is those people have families that help them. They have the insurance. They recover. They live a tragic event. One day, one night, a week or so, they're uprooted, and they have help, and it does not scar them like this. In this instance, because of this, people run away from me. People cannot help me because he threatens them and hurts them. And I literally starve to death. I've been close to starving to death for weeks at a time now. I'm not doing that currently now. But, I've been posted up in this backyard, being attacked and mentally and physically tortured and hurt. While everybody goes on about their life, and what you don't understand is they're using my car to monitor us here in eastern North Carolina and keep us safe. And I'm sitting back here being abused, and everyone's listening to what he says. So you need to understand that what's happened to me and what can happen to you. This is what you need to listen to. Likewise, most of the time it doesn't happen, and usually the users do not use it in the wrong way. And they will taunt to you, and it's wrong, and they're violating your rights, and it's fucking stupid. Excuse my French, it's stupid. And, or whatnot. But the person still goes to work and goes on with their life. You understand? And they either come in or they don't, or whatever. You know? They can flick them on anywhere they want to. You ain't got to be me. You got to work for the law. They can flick these on, and any one of these automobiles, and connect to them anytime they want to. So that's why it's important you listen to me if this happens to your family members. You understand that this will interfere with their life. It can destroy their whole life, their finances, and everything. It can make them crazy. It can make them not go to work. It can make them lose their job from taunting and taunting and taunting for weeks. They don't go in. They don't know why. All this kind of stuff. You understand? People will kill themselves, or they can't get so sick of hearing it. So